when you first entered the portal, what was it like? Like, was your phone blowing up right away? Was it what you expected, or did you not get hit up as much as you thought? Like, what was it like?
It's weird because I feel like I was in the beginning of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like when I came to college, the portal just started.
Yeah.
NIL just started. Conference realignment. I mean, just everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was in the middle of all of it. But I don't know if that was the first time of the portal, but I ain't talked to anyone who's been in the portal before then. So I feel like, that was.
You didn't know what to expect. Yeah.
I was kind of the lab rat with that one, but it was a crazy time because you want to make the right decision. It's a risk you're taking, but just betting on yourself and believing in your ability.
What was that portal process like? You were committed to UCLA, right?
Yep.
You committed to UCLA and then flipped to Oklahoma. Like, give me the story there. Like, what schools were you looking at? How'd that process go down? It probably happened.
Yeah.
How long was the process? Like, not that long, right? It's pretty quick.
So you can enter the portal right at the end of the season, but recruiting ends maybe 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
So you got to fit your your visits in within a certain amount of time, and I could only fit in 2 visits, and I only visited Ole Miss when Coach Levy was there, and then UCLA, and obviously Coach Levy had left to come here to Oklahoma, so I just felt really confident in UCLA at the time, and that was the option at the time. As time transpired, school was about to start, but Coach Levy, there's opportunity here, and like I said, I go back to trusting your instinct, trusting your heart. I had a good friend of mine that I always talk to, and he's like, you kind of have an idea with your top spots, but there's always going to be a wild card.
Yeah.
And the wild card was Oklahoma, and I remember maybe the day before leaving to UCLA, I get the call, and then, we're kind of set on going to UCLA, but I come back into my mom and dad, in the house, and I'm like, hey, like,
Oklahoma called.
Coach Lev called, and I think at that point there, with the whole portal, it's exhausting. It's tough because you want to be right, and I think at a certain point you want to play football, but there's a lot of things you got to navigate to get to that point, and it was a funny 48 hours to that decision, but like I said, the wild card ended up being Oklahoma, and it's felt the best ever since.
So it was the day before you were going to leave for UCLA?
The day before.
So you were packed up, ready to roll?
I was. It's weird, and that's why I go back. Like, it's so weird how it happened because, like, I had my suitcase out and stuff, and I was slowly, because I knew I had a little more time, but I remember just getting a call from Coach Lev, and he's like, Boomer. And I'm like,
oh, boy.
And then, fast forward, we're right here.
Yeah. What was that conversation like with UCLA? Was that tough?
It was. I had a great relationship with them. I know a lot of people on UCLA's team, and a center there, his name's Duke Clemens. We went to middle school together. A guy named Darius Muasau ended up committing to UCLA that he played linebacker at Mililani High School with me. So we played together. And then Titus, he played with me at UCF, ended up transferring to UCLA. So there's a lot of connections and ties that, I knew people at UCLA.
So you go from Hawaii to Florida. We're going to go to LA, and then you end up in Norman, Oklahoma.
I know.
Couldn't be any different, any more different.
So different. But I think that experience in general, like I said, just God put me in the right spot.
Yeah.
Kind of slowing the tempo down, and it's different, but I love it. I've begun to love it.
So then, I'm just fascinated by the situation or the timing of everything. So then, you decide to go to Oklahoma. How fast did you have to get to Oklahoma then? Were you like?
So I committed on the spot.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't.
So you never saw campus, right? You just
trusted. I trusted my instincts. I trusted God's plan, and belief in, in what he had set out for me, and risky, crazy, right? Like, a lot of people did think I was crazy, even my family, they're like, you haven't even seen the place. But I think there's kind of a beauty in it,
Yeah.
Just that first conversation I had with Coach BV, I trusted him, and I trust Coach Levy obviously too. So after I committed, I think that weekend I flew up for my official, but from then I, flew back home, got my stuff, and came back.
That's sweet.
Crazy.
Was your family, like, during that time? Were they stressed out? Were they excited? Like, did they want you to go to Oklahoma? What were they thinking? I know you're close with them.
I think they were stressed out more because, like I said, they just wanted me to make the right decision.
Yeah.
And it's a stressful time because there was a lot of, people don't realize when you do have a lot, it's a lot more options. It's a lot more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing because in high school it was a lot easier, just 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But it got confusing for sure during my time. But they were happy with it. They trusted me, and they're big on let me make my own decisions and just guiding me and helping me through it. So having them in their support system helped me a lot.
The stressful part, I feel like, for you during that process is nowadays when you're a high school recruit, high school quarterback, it's like, if it doesn't work out at where I pick, like, I'll just go to the next spot. Where, like, you had to get this right.
Yep.
Like, you didn't have, like, I mean, you could probably transfer again, but, like, you don't want to. You got to get it right.
A lot of people ask why I did leave, right? Like, why even leave a spot where you started?
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking.
And for me, it's growth. I know there's untapped potential that I still, want to be coached up on and grow and know that I can be so much better. So I think that was my biggest thing, is that opportunity to do so, be coached up and be pushed. And I go back to Coach Levy's, relationship. Like, that's why I love him so much. Is like, I know he's going to push me to a point where, I'm going to get better and I'm going to grow. And that's all I want.